Can we all see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Hold up, please. Uh, What about now?
Yes, now.
Okay. All right. So, subsequently, we are going to add you to the DevLink Series 1 JavaScript repository as time proceeds. So, hold up. I'm waiting for your instructor Razak to push his code. So that being said, we are going to continue on the note of operator precedence, arithmetic operator, logical, and all of those operations on any kind of value in JavaScript. So mathematical operator, logical operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, and all of that. So in the meantime, also, I am still going to share if let me toggle this to full screen. Is there a way I can hide this? Let me try and hide this. All right. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So let me go back to the first page and then show you a few things. Later down the line in the training, we are going to share this DevLink JavaScript cheat sheet with every one of us so that we can have it within in our arsenal for later or future reference. So that being said, what are operators in JavaScript? And then what are things that you can use operator on? So first of all, let me reiterate back on the notion of types that Razak earlier discussed. So we have 6 primitive types in JavaScript, and we have object type as well in JavaScript. So we have the string type, we have the number type, we have Boolean type, we have null, and then I remember he mentioned undefined, sorry, and also symbol to hold geometric kind of data or shapes. String types are type that are actually in quotes, either a single quote or double quotes. Number type are both floating point value and also whole numbers. So let me give you, I'm waiting for Razak to push that other code. So if I say const first name equals to Mohammed Ahmed. My name is Ahmed Farouk, so I can say Mohammed Farouk. This is a string type. This here is string. In some object-oriented programming language, this same variable can be represented like this: string, first name, Mohammed Ahmed. This is also valid in Java and C#. You specify the type of the variable. Any programming language that requires that you specify the type of the variable before the variable name and then before the value, they are called statically typed language. They are called what? They are, they are called statically typed programming language. But any variable, any statically typed language. Languages that fall within static languages that are statically typed languages are Java, C#, VB.NET. Python is not statically typed. TypeScript is statically typed, and all of those things. It requires that you put the variable type before the variable name. So the compiler will know by default that this is a string variable. If I want this to be an integer variable, I will say int. If I want this to be a floating point variable, I will say float. I'll say float. And then this will give me an error, so I can do this. This is a floating point variable. If I want this to be a Boolean variable, I'll say bool. And then the value can either be true or false. So, but JavaScript will do what they require, what is referred to as variable inferment. The compiler will automatically infer the data type of this variable by the value that is in front of it. So let's make it a little bit challenging for each and every one of us. I will say 23, and here I will say const salary. I will say salary is 86,000 on to 3.86,000 and this. And then I can say const is male. I will say true. Now, looking at this for variable that has been declared here, the first variable will be of what type? If you know it, just answer. The first variable will be of what type? String. The second one will be of what type? Number. The third one will be of what type? Number, that's correct. The fourth one will be of what type? Boolean. Thank you very much. So if I also say that is female is equal to false, this variable is female will be of what type? If you know it, just say. Definitely. Definitely. It's going to be of, thank you very much. It's going to be of type string because it is in quotes. So this that is written here and this in single quotes is still the same thing. Either you use single quotes or you use double quotes. So there are 7 primitive types in JavaScript: string, number, Boolean, null, undefined, and symbol. And then there are 2 object type, which is array and function. Okay, so as time goes on, I think earlier the earlier session discussed about arrays. I'm not sure about objects, but we are going to look into all of those things one after the other. But this session is more focused on operator precedence and all the type of operators. So let's take this JavaScript expression, for example. This here is an expression. This expression is acting on this variable, this value 7 and this string value 2. So operators in JavaScript are used to perform any kind of operation on an operand and an opcode, or any kind of operation on a type. So var here is a keyword. You can see they are reserved words or keywords. Reserved words or keywords in JavaScript is any word that is part of the vocabulary of the programming language. Those are what they call reserved words. What that means is that I cannot have a variable, I can say var, then the variable name is var, and I call it 23. There's going to be a problem because the compiler is going to see these two reserved words. But probably I want to create a variable named variable. I can say variable. This is valid in JavaScript. So the var here is a keyword or a reserved word. The constant here is a keyword or a reserved word. Are you with me? When I say function, it's a keyword and a reserved word. That is, they come together with the programming language. It is part of what makes that programming language unique. So var in this context is a keyword or a reserved word. A is a variable. A is a variable. The equal to sign that is here is an operator. The plus sign that is here is an operator. But this one here and this one here, when you perform an operation on two or more value, they are called expression in JavaScript. So let's take, for instance, let me see if Razak has pushed his code. Uh, okay, so the previous class code has been pushed. So let me quickly have it cloned, and then we can move on from there. Can we go on mute, please? So let me quickly clone the code. Don't worry, as time goes on, we'll get to Git. So we will learn how to use Git. All of those things. Okay. So, okay. All right. So this is the code from the previous class. I've cloned it to my local development machine, and then I should be able to view this in the browser if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Okay, so okay, this is the script. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's start with operators in JavaScript. So let me go back here. Okay. So it is clear that let's go to number 6. Sorry about that. All right. So these are all the operators that are available in JavaScript. We have the arithmetic operator, we have the assignment operator, we have the logical operator, we have the equality operator, we have the conversion.
Sorry, excuse me, Mr. Farouk.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Please, are you recording?
Yes, I believe I'm recording. Yeah, you are screen
Thank you, sir.
sharing and then recording. I believe I'm recording now, but let me double check that.
No, sir, it's not showing.
It's not recording. Pause record. I'm recording. I'm recording.
Fine.
Yeah,
You're recording.
yeah, I'm recording. All right. So we have arithmetic operators. We have assignment operator. We have the logical or and the logical and operator. We have the equality operator. We have the conversion. We have the relational. We have incremental and all of those things. So let us take arithmetic operators, for example. Arithmetic operators are what we use to perform mathematical calculations in JavaScript. So basically, we have the arithmetic, the add, we have the subtraction, we have the multiplication, we have the division, we have the remainder, we have the exponential. So let's take one at a time. So I'm just gonna come here. I'll come here. So let's take, for instance, the additional operator. So if I say 2 plus 2, that's going to give me what? 4, right? This is the additional operator. That is the add. That is, I'm adding two integer. I'm adding an integer. I'm adding two integer variables together. So if I say 33 plus 1 is going to give me 34. That's an arithmetic operator. If I say 10 minus 5 is going to give me 5. That's also arithmetic operator. If I say 10 divided by 2 is going to give me 5. That's division. If I say 10 modulo 3 is going to give me 1. Let me explain what this does. Let me zoom so we can see. Can we see it properly now? Can we see my
Yes.
screen properly? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
So we understand what the additional operator is used for. This is the plus sign, and then the subtraction operator, which is the minus sign, and the division operator, which is the forward slash sign, and the modulo operator. This is called modulo operator, like this, modulo operator. That's it. That's modulo operator. This sign is the modulo operator. This sign here is the modulo operator. Okay, so I did 10 modulo 3. It gave me 1. Who understands why I got 1?
I think I'm going to 7.
The reminder.
Correct. So modulo sign is going to give you the remainder. So if you want to calculate, if you are writing a project, if you are writing a program that requires that you get the remainder of a value and compare it with something and do something and all of those things, you use the modulo symbol as compared to the division operator, which only divides the value and give you the result. So if I say 10 divided by 3, it's going to give me this value 3.33333 onto whatever value is at the end. So but for modulo symbol is for modulo operator is going to give you just the remainder. So if you say 10 divided by 4, that is 2, remainder 2. It is that 2 that we see here as result. So if I say 10 divided by 9, it is 1, remainder 1. It is that remainder that is showing here as result. So if I say 12 divided by 4, no, that will go 12 divided by 5, 2. 12 divided by 7 is going to give me 5. That is, how many 7 are you going to see in 12? We are going to see 1. So whatever is left is the result of a modulo operator. Sorry. So let's look at the multiplication operator. So here, if I say 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. If I say 12 times 12 is going to give me 144. That is the multiplication operator. Okay. So let's look at Let me see. Let's say true. Let me try something true. And true is gonna give me, okay, sorry, true. And let me see if I can do that here. And true is gonna give me true. So we can try the logical operator here. So do we have any questions so far before I move on? Do we have any questions so far? Okay, I will take that as a no. So let's move. I should disconnect the VPN. Okay. Sorry guys. Can you still see my screen?
No.
Okay, so sorry. I think I was connected to a VPN that is kicking me out. All right, let me reshare my screen so we can move on. Yeah, yeah, screen. What about now? Hello, what about now? Can you see it now? Can you see my screen now? I can't hear anybody speak again. Can anyone hear me, please?
We can hear you.
I hear you. Okay, all right.
Can hear you, just that your screen is not shared yet.
Yeah, I'm sharing it back.
Yeah, there.
It's up.
It's up now. All right, thank you. So let's look at the equality operator. Now there are two equality operator in JavaScript. The first one checks if value. The first one checks if values are equal, regardless of their data type. The second one uses a strict equality. It checks that the values are equal and also the type of those values are of the same, those values are of the same type. So let's take a typical example, for instance. So if I say, const x equals to 5, equals to 6, and I say const name, sorry, age equals to 5. Let me zoom properly. Can you see the code bolder now? Is it bold enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the type of the first variable here is a number. The type of the second variable here is a string. Now we are talking about the two equality sign, which is this, and also this. This one here is an assignment variable, is an assignment type. This is used to assign value to a variable. So this is assignment. So let's remove this. So if I say if x equals h, console.log, then I will say else console.log. Okay. So here I'll say equal. Here I'm gonna say not equal. Can someone tell me what will be logged in the console?
Equal.
Okay. Who else can try? Who else want to try?
Not equal.
Huh?
Not equal.
Not equal. Okay. So what this thing does is that this is a control flow statement. After the operator, after dealing with operator, we're going to move to control flow statement. Now, this is checking if x is equal to h, okay? Or I can call it y to make it easy. So here, So what this guy is checking for is to check that the value of x is equal to the value of y. Because 6 is not equal to 5, this will be printed on the console. Okay, but if I change this value to 6, what will be the result?
Equal.
Okay, the result will be not equal. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah, the result will be not equal simply because 6, the type of x is a number, the type of y is a string. This equality check only checks for the value without the type. So if x is equal to y, here is going to be not equal because 6 integer or number is not equal to 6 string. But if I use this third equal to sign, this will check that the value is the same. This will check that these things are the same and their type are also the same. So if you look at what this says here, this equality operator, which is this, checks if the value are equal. Oh, sorry. This first one, sorry. This will be equal, sorry.
Yeah.
This will be equal. Apologies. It checks if the value are equal, regardless of their data type. So this first one will say they are equal, regardless of their data type. But if you want to check a deep, they call it deep check. If you want to check it deeply to be sure that their type are of the same, that is when you use this 3 equal to sign. This 3 equal to sign checks if they are of the same type and also they are of the same value. Any question around there? Do we have any question regarding that?
No.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing.
Can we, sir, can you show us under the
Okay, let
console?
me show you something here. So let's say cons x equals to 6, and then I can say cons y equals to 6, and then I can say console.log. So I'm gonna use a ternary operator here real quick. X equals y. Don't worry about this. So here I can say true. Here I will say false. Let me see if this goes. Oh, hold on. So syntax error missing. Okay, sorry. So what I get here is true. So what I did here is I declared a variable of number type called 6. I declare a variable called y is of string. I now do console.log. This is a shorthand for if statement, like this if is a shorthand for if. So what I wrote here is the same thing as writing if. When we get there, we're going to show you that. So what I'm doing here is that I'm checking if x is equal to y. Remember, the double equal sign only check that the variable value are the same, not their type. I now said if the values are the same, return true. But if the values are not the same, return false. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to recopy this. I'm going to paste it here. I'll change the value of this to 7. Can somebody tell me what the result will be before I hit enter?
False.
False, that's correct. Okay, declaration of constant x. Okay, so now that brings me back to the global scope, expression scope, and all of those things that Razak talked about the other time. So let me close this. Let me refresh this. Okay, so let me zoom it for you to see properly. So if I hit enter, it's telling me declaration of constant x. Okay, the debugger has cached it. So let me duplicate the page. Let me come back here. Let me come to console. Let me paste that guy here. No, it's not saying it. Hold on, please. move this guy from here. Okay, inspect. Sorry. Console, come back here. Okay, that's correct. So we are going to get to global scope, we'll get to expression scope and all of those things. So here returns true. So I'm going to come back here and call this one A. I'll call this B, and I'll check if A is equal to B. We've answered the first question, second question, that this will return false. So let's try the third one. Let's try the third one. I'm gonna call this one maybe C, and I'll call this one a D. So I'll check if C is equal to D. So here I'm gonna check, I'm gonna use the ternary operator, which is this. Sorry, I'm gonna use the deep equality check, which is this. Can someone guess what the response is gonna be?
False.
False.
Correct. It's gonna be false. You understand? So let's now check the other, let's check the last one. I'm gonna call this M, and I'll check this as N. And I'll check if M is the same thing as N, but rather I'll change this to 6. What am I going to get as response?
False.
False.
Are you sure?
True is
Yes,
true.
sir. True. False.
True. True.
I'm going to get false.
False.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, it's false.
Why? Oh,
The reason is that this one is string, this one is integer.
Number.
This one is string, this one is a number. The 3 equal to sign will check that the value are the same and also the type are the same. So are the value the same? Yes. Are the type the same? No. So it's going to return false.
No. False.
We need clarification around that. Let me clarify. Does anyone need clarification around that?
yes.
All right.
Please, from where you declared the previous, I think the third or fourth one.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. So the first
Okay.
one here is constant x equals to 6. What is the type of x?
Integer.
Correct. What is the type of y?
String.
Is when we are using the shallow equal to, so I'm going to call this shallow equal to, I'm going to call this deep equal to. When we are using the shallow equal to, let me explain again. The shallow equal to only check if the variable value are the same. The deep equal to, the deep equality will check if the value are the same and also if the type are the same. That means they are of the same data type. So if they are of int, if they are of string, if they are of bool, if they are of object, if they are of array. So now, when we check if x equal to y, this is shallow equal to, which only checks the value. The value 6 here is the same thing as the value 6 there, regardless of their type. That is why we are getting true as response. Is that clear?
Yes.
Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next example here. Here is integer is an integer variable called a, and here is a string variable called b. The value of a is 6 and the value of b is 7. If we use the shallow equality sign, equality check or operator, it's going to return false simply because the shallow equality only checks if the value are the same. 6 is not equal to 7.
7.
That is why we have false here.
False.
Now we declare another variable called c of integer value and the value of integer type, and the value is 6. We now declare another variable called d and the value of string type, and the value is 7. We are using the deep equality check. The deep equality check checks if the type and the value are the same. Only if the type and the value are the same, that is when it returns something. So let's say, for instance, I'm looking at you, let's say Mr. Mohammed Bashir, and I'm also looking at T1 in front of me, and I say, when it's 7 o'clock, I want Bashir and T1 to come see me. So to come to my office rather. Once it is 7 o'clock, if it's only Mr. Bashir that is available and T1 is not available, Mr. Bashir will not come to my office alone. He has to come along with T1. But if I say by 7 o'clock, Mr. Bashir or T1 try and come see me, any of you guys, when you come see me, it is fine. So because this guy has an and in it, that is, check if the variable is the same value and type as the second variable. Yeah, that is what this deep check this deep equality checks for. If 6 is the same thing as this, because it is not the same, it's going to return false in the first place. Now let's look at the last example. I declared a variable called m of value 6 is of integer value or number. We can say integer, we can say number. And I declared another variable called n of string type. And I'm checking if they are, or if they are equal, but rather I'm using the deep equality check. The deep equality checks one. Is m equals to n in terms of their value? Yes. Is m equal to n in terms of their type? No. So it will return false. So let me do one that will return true. I'll call this P and I'll call this Q. I'm going to call this 6 and I'm going to check if P is equal to Q. What's the response going to be?
It's true.
True.
The response is going to be true. Thank you very much. All right. So that is that about that. So what this one does is that it checks this. We declare a variable called x of type 5 of value 5. This is an integer variable. We declare another variable called y. It has value 10. This is an integer variable. We check if x is greater than 0 and y is less than 15. Now let's move on to logical operator. So we've talked about arithmetic operator. We've talked about assign. No, we haven't talked about this assignment. I think we only talk about equality. So let's talk about the assignment variable first. Now the assignment variable is used to assign values to the opcode or the opcode. So let's say var x is equal to 5. That is the assignment variable. That is the assignment value. What you do is that you are assigning the value 5 to variable x using this operator. Okay. If I say x, let's say var y equals to 6. I'm declaring another variable called y of number type, and I'm assigning the value 6 to it. Okay, but if I say, let me come back here. If I say var z plus equal to 1, what does this mean? It means I'm saying, let me split it. I'm saying x equals to, sorry, z equals to z plus 1. So I'm going to explain that in a bit. Let me put this here. This means this minus 1. Let me do the third one, and I put it here, and I do this. It means z multiplied by 1. So let's take it one after the other. The first one is the assignment operator. We use the equal to sign to assign something to something. It's just like normally in mathematics, we'll say let x, in mathematics, you hear let x be equal to 45 and let y be equal to the sum of angle between two projectile or between 2 points. So sum of angle between 2 points could be x plus v, and where x plus v, where x equal to 456.7 and then and v equal to 890. Find x. You see, all of these things, they've been brought to programming. So what this thing is doing is that the assignment operator assigned the value 56 to x. This assign the expression, this is an expression, is assigning the result of this expression to y. And they've already given us that x is of this value and v is of this value. Find y, it shouldn't be find x, find y. So we are going to take this, for instance, and do that, and also we are going to do this. So what the add then assign, what it means is add then assign, subtract then assign, multiply then assign. That is what this means. So in programming languages, you're going to be seeing in your programming journey, you're going to be seeing things like this. You're going to be seeing where they say for int x equals to 0, x is less than or equal to y, we can say x plus plus. This is another representation of that. So x plus plus here, x plus plus is the same thing as saying x equals to x plus 1. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, go on.
Okay, so let's get our hands dirty. All right. Initially, if I should try to copy this and paste it here, I'm going to get some funny undefined character. So what it means is that this constant variable or the var variable that I created the other time has already been declared within the scope of this browser window. Do you understand? So that is what causes the other one. So I'm going to open another one and then come to the console, and then I'll zoom out properly. So let's take it one after the other. We are going to take we've done this already. Let's take it again. Let's say constant a equals to 89. Console.log a. The value I'm going to get is what?
89.
89. So what I'm doing is that I'm creating a variable. Yeah, I'm creating a constant variable and I'm assigning value 89 to it. One thing about programming also is that programming is like any other language that you want to learn. You know, grammatical in English, we have English oh, there's a name they call it. I can't remember. But in programming, we call it the programming syntax or the language syntax. You need to understand how all these things work all together. At the end of the class, I'm going to share this cheat sheet with you guys. Another thing is you must be able to read code. You must be able to read code out loud to someone, and the person will be able to understand what you're saying. I'm declare a constant variable and assign the value 89 to it. You should understand what I've said. Declare a constant variable a and assign value 89 to it. Console log a. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is, what did I call this? This
0 plus 1.
Plus one.
no, there is a name.
Add, then assign.
God bless you. Add, then assign.
Okay.
Do you get? Add, then assign. And I explained to you that this add, then assign, what it means, I'm using the value 1 here because let's say how will I say it? It's just a value I think about myself. It could be 23, depending. You understand? It could be 23, it could be any other value. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever value it is. So let's take this, for example. So I'm going to say I've used variable A. Let me use B here. Hold on. So let me assign the value 2 to B. Let me call it a constant stuff so that we don't mix it up. And I'm going to declare another one here. I'm going to call it C. I will now say C plus equal to B. Right? Hold on, missing equal to, so let's C equals to hold on. Hold on. Okay, so plus equal to, so that means if you want to express this, it should be Z plus equal to 1. Okay, so let me put a comment. Can I add comments? Let me first of all add a comment, and I'll call that, let me bring this here. So just leave that like that. Then I'll say constant x, b equals to 23. So what this plus equal to means is console.log b equals to b plus 1, whatever value. So I'll give it 24. Let me terminate that. I'll call this C. Sorry. That will give me 24. Okay. So for the second one is subtract, then assign. The third one is multiply, then assign, which is the same thing as saying Z multiply by this. This value could change or whatever. So that's typical example also applies here. So let me do the last one. Constant, I've used B. Let me use C. Equals 34. I can say console.log C++. Okay, so C++ is the same thing as, hold on. Who can tell me what this means? This is not C++ language.
It means adding 1 on top of C and reassigning.
God bless you. That's all. But if I say n minus minus,
it means removing 1 from n and reassigning the value now to n.
Exactly. All right. So let's see. We've discussed.
Sorry, hold on. Which one hand is up? Do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The question I want to ask before is about the undefined I'm saying. Anytime we are under that console.
Okay.
Undefined.
Yes, the reason you are saying the undefined is that I put a comment. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's just a comment. What it means is that JavaScript cannot interpret this thing I've put here. I just put it as a comment. You understand? It's just like a single line comment. Let me come here. If you do this in JavaScript, it's a single line comment. So I can say this is a single line comment. So what it does is that the compiler will skip it. Within your code, you can put a comment. But inside this browser, Razak already said to you guys earlier, there is a JavaScript interpreter inside of it. There's a JavaScript interpreter inside of this browser. So the interpreter will take this as input. The interpreter name is, most programming language uses this REPL. Python has it, almost all programming language. So it will take it as input and it will try to make sense out of it. But because it couldn't make sense out of it, that is why it's returning undefined. You understand? But Razak already told you earlier that undefined is also a type in JavaScript. There are 6 primitive types. 6 primitive type. Undefined is also one of them.
All right, sir.
Thank
And
you.
the last thing is that plus plus and minus minus. I don't get that one.
Okay, so let me re-explain. Let me go back to. We've talked about, they are called postfix increment and then postfix decrement. So this plus plus here, I declared a variable here called x. This is a for loop. We'll get there. I assign in value 0 to x, and there's a condition here that checks if x is less than y. So let me do something here. Let me say var y equals to 3. Okay. So what this thing does is that it will declare a variable called x and assign value 0 to it. It checks if x is less than or equal to y. Will this condition return true or false? The person that asked the question. Is x is 0, y is 3.
Okay.
If x is less than or equal to y, will this return true or false?
If x is less than or equal to y.
Is x less than or equal to y?
True.
False.
This is x. This is y.
Yes.
Is x less than or equal
Right.
to y?
True.
True. Did you say
True,
true?
true.
God bless you. We are now saying that x plus plus is a postfix increment. So what this thing does is that when the execution gets to this for loop, it declares a variable called x and assign value 0 to it. Let's call it 0. It checks if x is less than or equal to y. It will execute what is inside of the body and it will increment it. What this increment means is that x plus plus, let me copy this out. Let me put a comment. X plus plus is x equals to x plus 1. What will be the value of x here?
1.
God bless you. So here, the execution will come back. It has already declared x, so it will not redeclare x again. It will now check.
Okay.
Yeah, is x less than or equal to y? Is it true or false? Eh?
Still true.
It's still true. God bless you. So I will come here. I will duplicate this. It will now say x plus plus. What's the value of x?
X plus 1.
1.
X,
0.
yes,
1 plus 1.
it's got to 2.
X is equal to 2 here. It will come back again. It will not declare x again because it has already been declared. Is x less than or equal to y?
It's true.
It's true. It will execute what is inside this place and increment x by 1. Let's increment by 1 again. What's the value of x?
3. 2
The,
now.
the previous value, 2. God bless you.
Yes, it's
2 plus 1.
3. 3.
3. It will come back again. It will not declare x again because x has already been declared. Is x less than or equal to y?
It's true because it's equals to y.
God bless you. It will increment the value of x by 1. The previous value of x was what?
3.
3 plus 3 plus
4.
that's 4. You know that it will not go past that value. It will not get to 4. You understand? Sorry, after the last iteration, sorry, after the last iteration, it will not go past. So is x, this is now 4. Is x less than or equal to y now?
False.
False. The execution of this for loop will stop. Then control flow will continue under. The execution of this will stop. Then control flow will now start from behind this. So why did this thing execute 1, 2, 3, 4 times? It's simply because the initial value of x was 0 and we are going to 3. So if you count 0, 1, 2, 3 in your finger, it is on the 4th finger. I don't know if I'm making sense. But if x is equal to 1, it's not going to get to this point. It will just, oh, God bless. So this is a postfix increment. If it is minus minus, it's going to be minus here, minus here, minus here, minus here. This is a postfix decrement. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is for the postfix increment and postfix decrement. But for the assignments, which is add and assign, subtract and assign, and then multiply and assign, is the first one I explained earlier. Add and assign, add something to something and assign the value. Subtract and assign, subtract something from something and assign the value. Multiply and assign, multiply something by something and assign the value. Now, let me now tell you the difference between this. There's a difference. So the difference between this and this. But JavaScript doesn't support it. I think C++ does. This one is, it will take the value. This one interprets to x equals to x plus 1, right? Okay. This interprets to x equals to 1 plus x. I don't know if I'm making sense. Please let me drink water.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So that is what that means. So we've talked about arithmetic operator, assignment operator. We've talked about increment and decrement operator. So let's move on to the relational operator. So there's a typical example here of the relational operator. If x is greater than 0 and x is less than 15, this is a relational operator, while this is a logical operator. I think those that are coming from physics to a certain degree, they will understand those logical and logical or logical no, the XOR, XOR and all of those things. People who deal in circuit, true or false things. So let's take this relational or comparison operator. Basically, they call it comparison operator. So let's take that as an example. We have, let me go here. All right, I'm gonna clear this. Let's declare a variable. Can I copy it out so it to be easy? It can be copied, but it doesn't matter. So let me declare a variable called age. Let me say Farouk age is equal to 88. And I'll declare another variable called Razak age is equal to 200. Razak is older than me. And I'm going to do a logical comparison. Sorry, I'll use a comparison operator. I will say console.log. If I say Farouk age greater than Razak age, okay, small r, Razak age, what will be the response of this?
False.
Okay, you are correct. It's false. That is because Farouk age is less than Razak age. But I'm checking, is Farouk age greater than Razak age? Is false. If I twist it again, this variable will not go again. I know it will not go again. Let me use another this. Console. Let me zoom for you guys to see. Can you see it properly now?
We can see it.
Okay. So if I say Razak age greater than Farouk age, I'm going to get what? True. That's simply because Razak age is greater than Farouk's age. The greater than sign, I remember back in primary school then. Let me enable my video so that you see. This is greater than, and then this is less than. So your right hand like this is greater than, this one is less than. So that's that. That's how me.
Your right will appear less than to us.
Oh, really? Oh yeah. This is greater than, and this is less than. So those are comparison operator. You see, all these operators are the same regardless of the programming language. So when you're moving from JavaScript to TypeScript, it is the same thing. When you're moving from TypeScript to Java, it is the same thing. When you're moving from Java to C++, it's the same thing. To C# to VB, it is the same thing. Sorry, it's not the same thing in VB. VB uses plain English in most of its things. So the fundamental basis of any programming language are almost the same thing. So once you get the fundamentals properly, life will be easy. So let's move on by creating another variable. I'm going to create a constant variable called a, and I'm going to say a equals to true. What is the type of a?
Boolean.
String.
Oh,
Boolean. It is Boolean, it's not string.
Sorry.
So console.log. This is a tricky question. Anybody that gets it right, I will give you recharge card. So A greater than B. What will be the result? No type am, no type am, they watch you, no type am. What will be the result of A greater than B?
A greater than B.
Hmm?
Yeah.
The result is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's simply because true is greater than false. Let me break it down for you. How is true greater than false? In programming or in computer engineering, what is true in decimal? Oh, sorry, what is true? True, yeah.
One.
One.
Okay. Then what is false?
Zero.
Zeros and ones.
That's all. You understand? It's telling me I've declared D before and I've declared B before. That's true. So let me call this one. I will not call this one B. I will call this one C. And I will come back here and say this one is D. This one is C. Okay. So you can see that it is true. And this is true. And this is true. It will not lie. True is 1. False is 0. So if you are checking if A is greater than B, the compiler is checking is 1 greater than 0, which is true. That is the greater than sign. So let's move on to the next one. We've done greater than, we've done less than. Let's do greater than or equal to. I'm going to declare a variable called P and another variable called Q. And then I'm going to say P is greater than or equal to Q. Is P greater than or equal to Q?
No.
False.
It's false.
P is 1. Q is 0. Is P
Okay.
greater than
Sorry.
or equal to Q?
True.
It will
P is
return
greater than
it will return true. They say greater than or equal to. So
Equal to.
yeah, so the confusing thing there is the or and the and. When something is concatenated with the or operator, it means if the expression on the left returns true, don't even bother checking the one on the right. Return true to me. But if it is the and operator, if the expression on the left returns true, check the one on the right. If it returns true, the whole expression will return true. But if the expression on the left returns true, check the one on the right. If the one on the right returns false, the whole expression is false. So the AND operator, the example I painted the other time with Mr. Johnson and TA, if I use the concatenation AND, that is the conditional AND, it means the both of you needs to be there. You understand? But if
Yes.
I use or, it means either of you guys Do you understand? It means either of you guys, your right and your left hand. It means the both of them. If I say, give me your hand, your right or your left, you give me anyone you want. So the greater than or equal to, there's an or there. Not greater than and equal to. So because P is greater than Q, it will return true. Remember, it is greater than or equal to. So let's try another one. I'm gonna call this a K constant, and I'll call this an L. And I'll say K is 11 and L is 11. Can anybody tell me what the result will be before I finish?
It's true.
Is K
True.
greater than L?
True. True.
Okay. Okay. The answer is true. That is because K is equal to L. But if you look at the first condition, greater than, is K greater than L?
False. False.
No.
Yes. K is not greater than L. Excuse me, please. K is not greater than L because it is an OR operator. The left side returns false. It will now check the right side, which is the AND, which is the OR. Sorry, which is the AND. If it is AND operator, it will check the left. If the left returns false, everything is false. If it is the AND, if the left returns true, it will check the right one. And then if the right returns true, everything is true. If the right returns false, everything is false. If it is the OR, logical OR, it will check the left. If the left returns true, it doesn't bother checking the right, it will return true. If the left returns true false, it will now check the right because K and L are of the same value. So the first condition, K greater than L, will automatically return false. It will now check the one on the right, which is equal to, is 11 equal to 11? Yes. So it will now return true. So the same thing applies to the less than, the same thing applies to the less than or equal to. Any question?
No.
Okay, so let's do the not equal to. So let's say we want to check a condition that says that a form should be submitted if your age is not equal to, let's say, 88 or 80. So I can say const f equals to 80. And I can say console.log f not equal to 80. What will be the response here before I hit enter?
Please hold on.
False.
Who else can try?
False.
False.
Do we all agree on false?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So if I say f not equal to 70, oh, because I've declared the f before, so let me use n. Here I'll use n. N not equals to 70, it returns true. What the not equal to check is that it just check, is n not equal to 70? Because n is 80 and I'm comparing it with the value 70. It is not equal to it, so it returns false. Any question?
Yes, sir. This not equal sign that we're using, that we just used recently.
This one.
Does it take, yes, exactly. Is it taking care of data type?
I'm not sure. So let's check it.
Okay.
Let's check it with 80. Let me use R. Let me use R. So let me use R here, and I will use the first example, R is 80, and then let me use 80 here. You know, the first one returns false, so it returns false. So it is checking both the value. It's just checking the value. But if I wanted to check the value and the type, so I will not call it R again because I've declared R before. So let me call it Q. Do we have Q? I'm not sure. We have Q. We have Q. We have Q. Let me use, what have I not used again?
Use T.
Let's use T. God bless you. Thank you. So you can see that the first one, which uses not equal to, where is it? Hold on, let me scroll a little bit. This one is not equal to 80. It returns false because what's it called? R is not equal to this. So this one is not checking for, this checks for type. This one here checks for type. You understand? While this one doesn't check for type. It's just the way, yeah, it's just the way we did. I think we did something similar. We did something similar in the case of this and in the case of this, where we call this one a deep check and then a shallow check. Yeah. So, but for JavaScript, they call it type coercion, I mean type cohesion or something. So yeah, coercion. Thank you. So yeah, that's for this. Okay. So let's combine comparison operator and then logical operator. So the combination of comparison operator and logical operator is this one here. So I'm going to copy this guy here. Let me create a new one and then come to console. Let me paste it here. So what this thing does here is that we declare a variable called x and assign the value 5 to it. We declare another variable called y and assign the value 10 to it. And then we are checking if x is greater than 0 and y is less than 15. So this here is what operator. Okay, let's make it interactive. Why is it not zooming again? Okay. I mean, zoom. Can you see the screen clearly now? I think it's a bit big.
Yes.
What's this operator called?
Assign.
Assignment operator. God bless you. What about this? Which operator is this?
It's logical.
No.
Comparison. It's a
Comparison. God bless you. Comparison operator. Yeah. What about this?
Logical.
This is
Logical.
God bless you. This is a logical operator. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So the first thing that will happen here is this. Let me separate it, just like in mathematics. I've separated it like this and like this. So this is an expression of its own, and this is an expression of its own. So a logical operator is used to combine multiple two or more conditional operator. So this checks if x is greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, what will this return? Is x greater than 0?
True.
X is greater than 0. This returns true. So let us write down. Let us write down that the first condition returns true. Okay? Is y less than 15?
Yes, true.
True.
Yes.
So the second condition returns true. So true and true is what?
True.
True.
What will this if statement print on the console?
True.
No.
Both conditions are true.
God bless you. Both conditions are true.
True.
That is it. That is it. So let's take another example. I'm going to call this n, and I'm going to call this m. I'm going to invert this. Let me now paste this. The first condition is x less than 0.
Now answer.
Oh,
N.
sorry.
You don't
N,
either
M.
N or M.
You are following. You are following me. You are following me. You are following me. So is n less than 0?
No,
No,
false.
false.
No.
False. Is
False.
m less than 15?
True.
True.
Hey, true.
True.
True. False and true. False and true.
False.
False.
Hmm,
So
false.
what would be printed in the console?
At least one
At
condition
At
is
least
least
one
false.
condition
is
is
false.
false.
God bless you. At least one condition is false. If you look at what we got here, one of the condition is false. All right. We've done logical and. Let's do the logical or. I'm going to change this to K and I'm going to change this to L. I'll change this back to K. You've corrected me the other time, so I remember. I'm going to change this back to L. And I'm going to change this to logical or. Let me repaste this back. Is K less than 0?
False.
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 Okay,
False.
K is not less than 0 because K is greater than 0.
Zero.
Is L less than 15?
True.
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 Okay. The OR operator states that if any of the condition is true, this guy is going to return true. It's going to return both conditions are true. That is what it's going to return because one of the condition is true. But if none of the condition is true, it's going to return false. But with the AND logical operator, if one of the condition returns false, the whole expression returns false. The whole expression returns false. Okay, let's take another complicated example. So I'll call this O, I'll call this P, and I'm going to declare another variable here. I'll call it, let me call it J, and I will say J is equal to, J is
15.
equal to, no, let's call it 5. And then I'm going to do a little bit of this here, little bit of ménage à trois. Hold on, please. So I'm going to put this guy here, and then put this guy here, and I'll use an OR operator, and I'll use this. I will say J is not equal to it's not equal to 5, and then I will say or J or J is equal to, no, or J is not equal to, it's not equal to 5. So we have the beginning of this here. Hold on, please. We have the beginning of this here. We have the ending of this here. We have the beginning of this here. We have the ending of this here. So so I can now put another one here, and now put another one here. What will be the response? Let's go through it together. Can somebody decide to
We are using OPJ.
We don't have K any longer.
We are using OPJ, the first if.
Okay, thank you. O P. It's complete. Thank you. Don't worry about this console. We just want to go through it together. So here is, we are using parentheses here a lot. Parentheses are used to group related expression together, so it doesn't get confusing to you. Parentheses, they are used to group related expressions together. So the first expression here states asking, let me put a comment here so that we can start. Is O less than 0?
False.
False.
False. The next one. Is P less than 15?
False.
True.
True.
True. Yes.
P.
True. Yes.
Yes. P is less than
Oh, sorry.
10. 10 is less than 15.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But remember, there is a closing and opening parenthesis between these two expressions. So I'm going to put it back there. Remember to always put it back there. So what logical operator comes after this?
Oh.
The OR operator. So let's put the opening and closing, the parent opening and closing, and then is J not equal to 5?
False.
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 False. Then what logical operator follows?
Oh.
Oh.
Is J not equal to 5 here?
True.
True. God bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's now take it in piecemeal. So I'll close this guy. I just separate this so that you understand. Let's take it in piecemeal. The first expression, false and true. What does it return?
True.
False.
False, 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 false. What logical operator follows suit?
Oh.
Oh.
False or true. What does it return?
True.
True. So let's move on to the next one. False or true. What's this?
True.
True.
What is our expression going to return?
True. Both conditions are true.
God bless you. Let's try it. Tó bá ti lanà báyìí, ó dàárọ̀ ni o. Let me wait. Let me put the result. Let me put the result
Yes,
here.
sir. I'm still confused about something.
No problem.
Honestly,
So,
it's not even about before we
Mr.
reach
Farouk
this
is
place.
going deep.
This J, the 2J, that not how you get the true and false is somehow.
yeah.
The first one is
That deep.
I think that's a boom. Don't worry.
I've joined deeper life, Mr. Farouk.
I will explain. So let me press enter. At least one condition is false. So that means somewhere along the line, where is it? At least one condition is false. Somewhere along the line, we did mistake. So what's the mistake?
Yes.
There's something called
If you
operator precedence. If I look where?
If you look at this or the last J O, that 5, is it not supposed to be string?
This J. This
Yes,
J.
where your cursor is.
First J should be false.
Oh yeah, wait. Let's take it one by one.
A?
Let's take it one by one. By one. We'll flesh it out. Let's take it one by one. So the first condition is 5. Is 5 less than 0? False.
True.
false.
That's false. 5 is not less than 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
now,
sir.
The second one is P. P is 10. Is 10 less than 15?
True.
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 The next one, J. Is J, what is J? 5? Because it is a string.
It's a string.
It's a string. Yeah. So here is supposed to be true.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Who confused me? Who confused me? Now somebody has confused me among you.
Baba na me.
Now you they owe me recharge card. So somebody has confused me. So the thing is that we didn't consider that because 5 is J. If you look at it here, J is J has the value 5, but it's a string. And here we are doing the God bless you. No, this is deep. This is deep. This is deep. So it will check the value and it will check the type. Because the value of J is 5 and the type of J is string. And what we are comparing it against is 5 and the type is string. So that is why this will be true. So is J not equal to this? What we are checking here is J is 5. So this is also true. So false and true is what?
False.
False.
False. True and true is what? True.
True.
Then this gives us true. We are still not correct.
Sir,
Yes.
Let's check that J
hello,
again,
sir.
please.
Yes,
That J.
I'm with you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay,
Sorry,
the
before you go-
last J,
Mm-hmm.
is it not supposed to be in string also instead of ordinary 5 as a value?
It's a deliberate
Okay.
thing. It's a deliberate
Okay.
one. So let's do
Okay.
something first. Let's do something. Let me
Sorry, before you go.
yeah,
Sorry, can
I'm
you
with
hear
you.
me?
I can hear you. Continue.
The expression J is not equal to 5 should not be true.
God bless you. So let's test it.
The-
Let's test it.
That's
Also,
double.
wait.
Yeah.
Let's test it. This is, do we have Q before? Do we have Q? Let me call it
We have-
DD. Let me call it DD. DD is 5. So DD 5 should be this. And then I'm gonna say console. I'm gonna say console.log. I'll paste that guy there. I'll say DD here, right? So you see that it returns false. Hold on, please. It returns
False.
sorry. So it returns false. So that means our expression here was supposed to be false. This one here. Because what we are comparing here is that we are checking if DD, hold on please, let me put this aside so it doesn't disturb. So we are checking if DD is not equal to 5. So what this one checks for is that it checks for just the value. You understand? So let's come back. Where's the place? It's here. So if we change this to false, let's now go through it again. False and true.
False.
And true. False.
False.
True and false.
No, you're saying true or false?
Sorry, false and true is false.
False and false is
True,
false.
true or false?
It's true.
True. False or true?
It's true.
Yes, sir.
We are still
Let's
not
cross
getting
check
it.
the second J too.
Where's the second J? This one.
That
last-
one,
the last one.
this is equal to.
This one here.
Yes.
Let's see the result. Let's put it on console.
The
The
results.
first J.
Okay, so let's
I've declared J before.
console.log J.
They are equal.
J, right? So J is 5.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Okay.
And it's black. It's
That means
black.
it's true.
Can you see it?
What I'm saying is, the
So
way we did it here,
hold
that
on.
we used to equal to.
Hold on. Let me do something. Let me say console.log. Let's say type of. If you want to get the type of a variable,
A string.
Okay.
you can say that it is string. The type of J is string. So here is a string. Let me now check type of. Let me check type of P. I want to know the type. Type of P is a number. Okay, so we are good. So let's now use operator precedence here. It will evaluate this and evaluate this. So let me come back. Let's take operator precedence here. Evaluation start from the right. So this is false and true. So this one will return false. This is true and false. This one will return true. This is, sorry, true or false. This returns true. Then false or true. This returns true. Guys, we are doing something wrong.
Yes, sir. This is
Okay.
what I'm saying. That J, not equal to that
This
5.
one. This one.
Yes. Let's declare it separately and see what's going to give us as a result.
Okay. So
That's
hold on.
what I'm saying.
Okay. So
The
let's
answer for that is false. That's false.
this for J not
Please, is this
J not equal to
this
5.
particular one?
It's false.
Is it deep
The
or
answer for
shallow
that
equal
is
to?
false. Yeah, that's
Mr.
false.
Farouk?
That's supposed to be false.
Okay, so let's do
That's
this.
what I'm thinking. Supposed
Let's
to,
do
but
this.
let's declare it
Let's do this.
separately.
GG equals to 5. console.log. So let me remove this one. That's false. So let's come back here. This would be false, right? So
No, you did JJ just now.
You
Hmm?
Sorry.
write J instead of GG.
You wrote J instead of GG.
Oh, sorry.
No, this one.
JJ, welcome to JavaScript.
But it's still
It's still
be
false.
false though.
Okay. All right. So let's come back. This is
Baba,
false.
I withdraw my
So,
recharge card.
so
My first is back there.
okay. So false and true is what? False. False or false is what?
False or false?
False. So false or false here is what?
False.
Damn, false.
These guys are due for graduation. Let's graduate tomorrow.
It's not started though.
Did you end the training, Farouk?
On top this false. You know, so we do something.
Let me see your video, all of you. Let me see your video. Let me see your video. I want to nominate people that will graduate tomorrow. Mr. Dayo. Mr. Dayo is graduating tomorrow. Mr. Dayo is graduating
On top
tomorrow.
this true and false.
No, we have a long way to go. Just true or false.
All right. So thank you very much. I try to make it interactive and participative. So all of us will gain from it. It can make someone go gaga at times, but just take your time, you grab it. The more I talk about it like this, the more I learn to myself. At times you skip just this little thing can make your entire ERP project not to give you the right result. Imagine you make this kind of mistake in account number and in account balance, and you have 1,000, it will be displaying 100,000. You know there's a problem somewhere. So those are the things you actually need to take care of. All right, so let's move on to we've talked about arithmetic operator, the add, the addition, the subtraction, multiplication, division, the modulo division. Exponential is that one on top. So we have assignment operator, we have logical operator, we've talked about comparison operator, we've talked about the postfix increment and postfix decrement. We've talked about the postfix increment and the postfix decrement, and then logical or and logical and. We've talked about equality to check for shallow equality or deep equality within your program. So let's look at okay, so let's look at convert to number. Please convert to number, then negate it. Yeah, this one is for advanced usage, but we'll get there when we are treating advanced JavaScript. But let's use this negation sign.
We didn't treat instance of.
No, we are not there yet. We are not there in that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not there yet. So let's use the negation sign. So let me say console.log. Console.log, right? What will be the response on the console?
False.
The answer will be false. This will be what? This will be true. The reason is that this symbol, they call it not, or the inversion symbol. The inversion symbol will invert whatever the answer is. It will give you the negative value. So if the response that is coming from somewhere is true, you want to change it to false. You just append this, you prefix this to the result. So here we can say constant constant uu equals to false, and then we say console.log not uu. Is going to be true. You understand? It's going to invert it. So if I change uu to let me say mmm, and I will lose money during mmm. Sorry. So so if I say not mmm, it will now be what? False. You understand? So that is that about the not what's it called, the inversion operator. So let's look at type conversion and the rest. When trying to compare types, the JavaScript engine attempts to convert one type into another type so it can compare the two values. So one thing that JavaScript does for you out of the box is that it tries to convert the type from one type to the other. So let's take, for instance, the JavaScript interpreter. If I say var, no, it won't make sense here. It will make more sense here. Let me say constant yy equals to 5, and I'll say constant I've done pp equals to 6. What's the type of yy?
Number.
What's the type of
Number.
pp?
No, string.
String.
Okay, so if I say console.log yy plus pp, what will be the response?
False.
It's false. So
You cannot add number and string.
11.
number and string will not go together.
Okay,
11.
it is
Is this
that is not
5
JavaScript.
and 6.
Hey,
Sure.
what is this?
JavaScript is going to concatenate it for you. So let's take another example. Let me call this YA, and I'll call this PA, and I'll say YA plus PA. 16.
6?
So JavaScript is going to concatenate it for you, because what is on the right is a string. What is on the left is a number. It's going to concatenate it for you. Concatenation means combining two strings together. So some programming language, most object-oriented programming language that are out there today, except for PHP and a few ones, in let's say my plus space plus name. What this thing would display on the screen is what? My name.
My space name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Then if I do this in Java, this is valid. In C#, this is valid. In in PHP, it will be this. It's going to print out my name. This is concatenator operator in PHP. This is concatenator operator in JavaScript, in Java, in Python. Am I correct? Yeah, Python. In C#, in F#, J#, and all of those things. So you know that this is an arithmetic operator, the additional operator. Remember, we talked about it a few minutes ago. But when you are using it with string, it's going to be changed to a concatenation operator. Because if this were to be 5 and this were to be 4, this were to be 6, the result will be 10, because this is number and this is number. This operator is going to add them both together. Now, in JavaScript, this is possible. In JavaScript, what will this one gives you?
46.
It will give you 46. But in Java, this will not give you 46. This will give you, it will give you a compile time error. It won't even compile. Sorry, what am I saying? It won't even compile. You understand? It won't compile. And from your development environment, you see, to tell you that this thing is not correct. Do you understand? Because
Yes,
you are trying, you are trying to concatenate this and this together. But in those programming languages, there are ways to convert this to this, or to convert this to this. In a language like C#, I can say int dot pass. What that pass means is just like convert. This will return an integer. This is convertible to integer because it is if I remove this,
a number.
Yes. It is a number, but it's just a string of string type. It is convertible. But if I do this, it is not convertible. This will return an exception. So if it's like this will return what? It will return 6. So here will be 6. this guy will return 6. So it will now give you 10 because you have passed it, you have converted it. We are not going to that part today. So where okay, we've talked about this. We've talked about this like this. In JavaScript, 2 plus 2, number 2 plus string 7 is 27. True minus 5 will give you 4. Who can explain this?
True is 1.
Yeah, because true is 1.
God bless you. I owe you recharge card. I owe you
Don't
recharge
forget
card.
to.
I owe you
Don't
recharge
forget.
card.
Not plenty.
But no be say you go dey ask me. Oh, now me go give you myself.
But sir,
All right.
sir,
Yes,
sir,
yes, I'm with you.
you mentioned that type conversion in the C shape. Does that mean in JavaScript we don't have that one?
Which one is that?
You mentioned conversion. A string, you can convert string to numbers.
Mm.
Sure. So what happened in JavaScript? Are we having something like that one? Like see,
Hold on, let me get your question right. You mean this?
exactly. Can we have that one in JavaScript?
You can use a JavaScript library to do that, like maybe a JavaScript package to do that, but directly in JavaScript, I am not sure, but we can check it. I will check it before the end of the class. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I will check. But normally,
Okay.
what JavaScript will just do to you is that it will coerce it and then give you the results like this.
Oh.
But why those other programming languages have them is simply because it is not possible by default to do them in those programming languages. So that is why in those programming languages you have to pass it. Let me see if I can find a
But you
typical
can
example.
cast. You can cast.
Okay, you can cast.
You
So
can cast in JavaScript.
okay.
The
So
way you cast in, you
Just
just put the type of the variable in front of the value.
just
okay.
like in Java.
Okay,
Yes.
see this typical example here. This int.pass, you are passing something. You can see in this language they have it, then the result will be stored here. So since you can cast, so Ogabas, is it boxing? Like you box this guy to int. There's something called boxing in some other language like this.
You can just use number and you can use the same int dot passing in JavaScript.
Yeah. I think you're correct. I think it has number. There's number dot.
No, just wrap it, wrap number, then wrap whatever you want to wrap.
Okay, so guys, it's possible. It's possible. So let's do something here. Let me say console dot. Oh, sorry. Let me say console dot log. Let me say console dot log 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 will give you us what? 10.
10.
Correct. So you can just wrap it like this. So that's correct.
Thank
All right. So you can see that you have to keep learning. Me, I can't remember this one being there. So you have
There's
to.
also passing in JavaScript. Passing also works in JavaScript.
Okay, pass. Maybe it's not part of this yet. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Is there anything I haven't covered, Razak? Anything?
Bashir hand is up.
Oh,
Bashir.
okay.
Hey,
Let me have your question, please.
good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My question is that you have been talking about console and the console log. Maybe now I started learning Java programming. Somebody can just throw a question to me. What mean by console? What mean by console log? That is my question.
Okay, so console is the REPL environment that you interact with. So on Windows environment, this is a console. So let me start from there. Hold on, let me drag this up. On Windows environment, this is a console. You see, this here is a console. So in your browser, there is a console in your browser. This is your browser console. Look at it. This is your browser console, but this console is for you to execute JavaScript. Razak said it earlier. Every browser, every modern browser, in fact, every browser has a JavaScript interpreter inside of it. Inside of it, that console that you're looking at is part of those interpreter bundled programs. So if, let's say, for instance, you want to write it from this console, anything that you interact with, anything that you interact with that is not graphical is a console. Like on Windows now, I can check all the directory in this folder. I'm interacting with Windows console. This thing that we are interacting with here is the JavaScript console on your browser. So what is the word console itself? And what is the word log? Log is a function on the console class. I think this JavaScript cheat sheet, yes, explain a bit of all of those things.
Okay.
So when I share this, you see it there. So the console it comes with the JavaScript engine. So this is a class, this is a function. It's a function because it is wrapped around, anything that is inside is wrapped around a parenthesis. This is a function. Remember the other time I say number and I wrap it like this and I put this inside. This number is a function. So they are all inbuilt function. Earlier, I talked about reserved words and keywords, constant, var, let, if, do, while, wait, wait, all those things. They are reserved words. That is, they mean a special, they have a special meaning to the JavaScript interpreter. So console.log are part of the base JavaScript classes and functions that come with the JavaScript interpreter language. So when you have your browser in here, whatever you can write within a web page and access any browser functionality, the DOM and everything, you can write it within this console because the JavaScript interpreter is already inside of it. You understand? We are using the console because at the moment, what we have to do is just for us to understand some fundamental basis of JavaScript and all of that. As time goes on, you'll be using JavaScript to interact with the document object model, the DOM, to manipulate the DOM, to check the value of a text box, to do this and to do that. So we are going to try that as time goes on. Am I able to answer your question correctly?
Yes, yes. So you are saying console is part of the computer used for communicating between user and the system.
Yes, yes, it comes by default in most languages, most frameworks, most library. So let me give you a typical example. When you open your run method and you say command cmd, this will open the Windows console for you. This one is for Windows. You can use it to interact with Windows. So here, here if I say cd, I clear screen, I say dir. What I'm interacting with is Windows console. Windows console. Do you understand? I can check all the content inside of this folder like this. Here is Windows console. You understand? If I want to do Node, this is Node console. See, I have to type Node and press enter. It means I'm telling the Windows operating system to switch to Node console for me. If I say 2 plus 2, Node will give me 4. You see, if I say 2 plus this, Node will give me 22. The Node 2 is JavaScript on the server side.
Yes.
You understand? I remember Razak mentioned it. Node is JavaScript on the server side. So if I say console.log, it's telling me that console is an object. Let me maximize. It's telling me that console is an object. I don't know if you understand. If I say .log, .log is telling me that log is a function. See, function, this is it. So if I say log welcome, it will log welcome on the console for me. So this console, sir.
It's break time. Let's go for break.
Say again.
It's break time. Let's go for break.
Okay. All right. Oh, true. All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you guys.
We should keep to time and come back by 3.
What time are we converging?
3.
3. Thank
All
you
right,
very
sir.
much.
God bless.
Sir Farouk, I raised up my hands since.
Oh yeah, what do you want to say? Ask us the question.
I want to ask, it's about the operators.
What's your
when
question?
we were talking about the equal signs, where we have 3 equal signs, we said it is deep. Equals. No.
So what's the question?
Now, what I'm saying is, are they the same thing? 3 equal signs and not equal sign with 2 equal signs?
You know the 3 equal sign is expecting a positive. The other one is negation.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
First is looking for positive answer. Second one is opposite of whatever that we have.
Okay.
Is this what you meant?
No, the second one should have not.
Okay, you mean this
not
and then
with 2 equal signs.
Yes.
Thank you.
So remember earlier we talked about this and also this and also this.
Yes.
We call this one
Assign.
to assign something. Yeah, I think it's double S, to assign something. This one, it checks for just value. This one, it checks for value and also the type.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one not equal to, it's the same thing as this, which only checks inverse value check. While this one is inverse value check and type check.
Yes.
That's it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry.
Now I understand. Thank you.
Okay.
Please leave the screen. Don't go.
Okay.
Just leave the screen.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right, let's go for a break, please.
I did hear somebody they even use a spoon, they scratch pot bottom since. What's in the job?
Bye.
All right, guys.
Come back at 3, right?
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
that's correct. 3 o'clock. Please don't miss that time.
Thank you,
We
sir.
have a lot to do.
Yes,
All right, sir.